Hey everybody, this is Melina from ScrapbookingwithME.com and Me Crafty Scrapper here on YouTube and Instagram. Today is another episode of M's Scrap Busters. I am enjoying these weekly scrap busting challenges and I hope you are too. I have seen some of the cutest creations, beautiful creations on Facebook, Instagram, and here on YouTube. Y'all doing videos and posts. I love it. Keep doing it. This is episode 7. We are on a roll and I'm really enjoying it. Make sure to use this hashtag, M's Scrap Busters, all together, so that I can find your creations and view them, like them, love them, and leave a comment. Today we are making something that I'm very excited about because I need more ephemera, clusters, pieces, journal spots, things like that for my journals. And I am showing you a little haul that I have from our local library. I love going up there. I have just been reminded that they have a whole room upstairs in the library here in Avon, Alabama, a whole room upstairs with books that would otherwise be discarded, but they have them upstairs. You get a grocery bag and fill a bag for $1. It's amazing. So in 2 bags, because some of my books that I got were huge, thick, 2 bags, I had 18 books in the 2 bags, and it cost me a whole whopping $2. It was amazing. So I was looking for, I needed dictionaries for my journals, for my pieces that I'm making, and I needed book page. Believe it or not, I have 0 old books. 0. I don't have authentic book page in my inventory whatsoever. Most all of my book page that I had, I either borrowed from mom or I printed digitals, and it was just printed, you know, and it's white paper on one side and then the book page on the other side. So I wanted some authentic book page. This is a Spanish-English dictionary that I found upstairs in that library. And it is circa 1968 actually. And nice yellow aged pages. And I'm really excited about this book. Love that. This is The Scotswoman by the author's Fletcher. Last name is Fletcher. I thought that was very, very cute. The Scotswoman by Inglis Fletcher. And this is circa 1954. This is just 3 of the 18 books. I knew I wouldn't have time to go over all the books, but I loved how the pages were the torn edge, and then they're nice and yellowed, full word pages. And then it's got that nice crusty moldy cover that I knew would tell me, hey, it's going to have some age to it. This is The Vines of Yarraby by Dorothy Eden. And she was also the author of The Shadow Wife and Never Call It Loving. And look, still got the original library pocket in it, and it says discarded. It was actually from Wheeler Basin Regional Library headquarters in Decatur, Alabama, and Eva, Alabama's library got this book. It's already got pages coming out of it. This is circa 1969. The pages are very, very worn and yellow, and I love them. I just love them. So if anybody knows these authors or these books, let me know. But I just thought that these were a great find at my local library. I'm going to be using some ink dyed papers on this Scrap Busters today. And then I'm also going to be using some digitals that I got from the Digital Hobby Helper. It is my first time buying from her Etsy shop, and I love what I got. I needed some, I already have labels, but I needed some plain ones. The labels I have are all shapes and colors and things like that. So I needed some plain, just rectangles. So this is like on some craft paper. And then this is a 10 sheet kit, and her stuff is so inexpensive. I've got lots more in my cart that I want desperately, but I've got to pace myself. Okay, so that is some like on craft paper. This is on graph paper. This is on like a coffee dyed with some doily prints in it, and maybe even some word print behind it. Then you get a set of green, beautiful, looks like dyed paper, and then a set of like burlap background ones there. And then this little kit, I did not need it in the least, a little bit, but I had to get it. I've already cut some of the flowers out, but look at that. I'm going to leave her link, those stamps, in the description box below, but all you have to do is go to her shop and click in or type in blue in her search, and this kit will pop up. It is gorgeous. It's not even the kind of blue that I would normally go for. I love teals and aquas, but this was just too pretty not to get, and I love the little stamp images and things. And then this sheet is the one that I have already cut out these little flower images out of, and we're going to be using today. Now, for this challenge, you do not need these digitals. You do not need to purchase anything. This is a scrap challenge. I just needed and wanted those listings from her shop, so I went ahead and got them. And yeah, that's it. I just needed those. So you don't have to buy anything for these challenges. You do not have to use the same thing I use. It's a scrap challenge. Use what you've got. Use your scraps. All right. And then I might also use one or two of these. And we had these in the shop, and they went like craziness. It's just floral little coffee dyed looking paper with book page on them, little stamps. So I might use those on a couple of these also. I'm just torn out some dictionary paper, and I'm putting this up against it so I'll know how big I need to make my little backgrounds. And then we're going to put some journal pieces on the back, and we're going to use a label and make little nature studies ephemera pieces for our journals. And they're going to be very simple, very easy to make, and will be beautiful additions to our journals. So I'm very excited about these because I needed some more pieces for my journals, and that I will save for something else. I'm going to get my Distress ink, and I'm using the most popular, which is Vintage Photo. I want to get that very vintagey, vintage page look to it. And this is just my digitals. I printed them on that premium paper from Walmart. It's just the step up from regular copy paper. Okay, and I'm just, since this is so thin, I'm putting it up against a book, which just happens to be Ledger, and it helps me get ink on those edges without my paper going everywhere, and then it getting bent or torn. You just put it up against the edge. I'm going to tear that little piece off. And you can ink those edges on thin paper so much easier when you do it like that. And of course you can mass make these also. Just tear a bunch of the papers the same size. If you've got the same size images over here, like these will be a little smaller pieces, smaller journaling pieces. But I love that. I love the look of that. So pretty. Okay, now let's get those labels back out. And let's drop some stuff in the floor while we're doing that. Now you can make these as elaborate as you would like. I'm just going for simple, and then if I need to add something else later, I can. To match, you know, an element or something in my journal that I'll be putting them in. But as of right now, I'm just going to make these very simple. So in the challenge, I want you to use some type of book page, some type of natural thing, whether it be floral, tree, whatever. If you can find it in nature, that's what I want you to use. So book page, some type of natural something, and then a label. So I'll show you, when I get done with this one, I'll show you what I'm talking about as far as the rules for this challenge. I don't like making rules for my challenges. You just use your scraps, but the idea for this challenge, and I'll give you step by step of what I'm looking for. So let's see here. I like this little joyful. That's pretty. And cut that out. Okay, so I cut that out and ink the edges, and I'm just going to layer this over this other two pieces, just like that. See how pretty and simple. Love it, love it, love it. You don't have to do a bunch of collaging. You don't have to have a lot of different supplies or products. You can just, you know, these 3 little layers and go for it. I've got a little glue ring on there, and I was trying to get that off before I started using it, but it is hard as a rock. I'll have to do that after. So I'm going to just put down this floral piece. Simple, simple, simple. I love this. Love how simple and easy it is. And then the little label. Move it up just a little bit and then off a little bit. And make sure it is straight, or as straight as can be anyway. Okay, so then you have this little flimsy, you know. So on the back, what you're going to do is cut some paper, whether it just be copy paper, graph paper, whatever. You're going to cut this to mat this on the back, and this is going to be your little journaling spot. So I'm going to put this on top since I haven't measured, which is another beautiful thing about this challenge. You don't have to measure because I hate to measure. So if I can ever do a challenge where you don't have to, I'm always going to, because I just do not like to measure. Okay, so I've made that, of course, too wide, but I'm just getting it size-wise how I need it. So if I did that, and then I come up, I'm going to do that. And then I will see how much more I need to take off. So I'm going to go over that little hash mark there. And I've cut it crooked, of course. Let's see. Since it's just copy paper, of course, it's a little more flimsy as far as cutting. All right, let's see if that's maybe just a hair more, and then let's cut off the length. And I'm good with little fuzzy bits. We're good there. All right, and I'm going to get my book that I was using a while ago and ink my edges. This is such an easy way to get the edges of a flimsy piece of paper inked. Just put it up against something sturdy. Easy, easy, easy. All right, and then I'm going to glue on this ink dyed piece of paper. It smells like the library in my room because of these beautiful old books. Love it. Okay, smooth that out, and then you are done with this. I just love that. I love how simple this is, and you're adding that copy paper or whatever you want to add to the back of it, graph paper, whatever, to the back, so it gives it a little bit more sturdiness, but it's not so stiff that you're not going to be able to put it in a pocket or something like that. It's not going to make your journal too thick. So that is one. Let's see how many we can get made. I want to make one with these little ones. Let's do a little one here. And I love this tear tool when using book page, because it tears so easily up against that tear tool. Gorgeous. Okay, and I want to tear off that top. And I think I will leave that and just tear off the bottom. Okay, let's see how that looks. I like that. Let's ink our edges. And you can make these as little as you would want, as big as you would want, whatever suits your fancy. They do not have to be the same size as mine at all. Okay, I'm going to put on my floral piece, wipe up the glue that I just put all over the desk. And you could even stitch around these because they are thin, so you can stitch around them too. That would be very pretty. I might stitch on one just to show you how that looks. Let's get our book and go around the edges of this dictionary page. And if you don't have the tear tool, you do not have to use it. See, on this side, it is straight, and I'm leaving it that way. Or you can tear by hand. Does not matter. You do not have to use the same tools I use. You do not have to use the same supplies I use. Just make something. I'm going to use some of this paper here. And I'm going to do a little mark. Let's go here and here. Little mark there, little mark there. Maybe that'll get me the size I'm needing without having to cut multiple times. Let's see. I just absolutely love making little things like this for my journals and having it on hand and ready to use. I love that. Okay, let's look at the back here. Oh yeah, that works. It's a little bigger than what I would usually do, but I'm not going to fuss over that and get my big trimmer out again, just to take off a 1/16 of an inch on both sides. Cool. These come together so quickly. It's glorious how easy these are. Okay. Put that on the back, and then we'll have to ink our dictionary page on the back also. Did I do that? Oh, I didn't do it on that one. Look at there. Let's ink the backs. Pretty. I love that non-ripped or non-torn one side of that one. That's very cute. It's just, it shows that it was not, you didn't have to take a lot of time to create it. And you're just going on the fly and doing some beautiful stuff without having to take too much time. There we go. So that one's even prettier now since I've got the back inked. All right, and then I need a label for this one. Let's look at my other label, see if I've got something small and pink. Let's see here. It would be grand and glorious if I had some littles. Oh, yep, look at there. I do. These are My Porch Prints. I'm almost certainly positive. Yes, My Porch Prints. Okay, let's cut out one of these little tickets here. Ooh, I like the one that says books. That's cute. So let's, oh, they're so tiny. Gotta make sure that I'm not cutting another one. When I first printed this one out, I thought, ooh, those are so little. What would I ever use them on? Hello. Here we are. Using them on tiny ephemera journal spots with an M Scrapbusters challenge. Isn't that cool? Okay, I even cut out the tiny little notches that's on the ticket shape, and let's ink the edges and add it on. Yes, I filled up my Barely Arts Sugar Bell bottle. I have the rest of it laying up here upside down to try to get every last little globbly gloop out of it. That is so cute. Let's see. Ooh, maybe just these little... You remember I said at the very beginning, I'm going to keep this simple. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So... all right, let's ink those. And right behind that, off to the side there. Oh yeah, I like that. Cute. Didn't even have to add any more glue to that. Cute. Okay, there's another one. Alrighty, let's do one. Let's do this one. Pretty. Very, very pretty. Okay, I want to do this one about down middle ways of the dictionary page. Okay, and there, and let's get some off over here. Now, of course, the smaller the little strip that you tear with this tear tool, the more difficult it is. So you just try to get a little bit more than, let's see, I need about there, a little bit more than you need cut off to help you get that torn look that you need. Pretty. Okay, let's ink edges. And remember, Melina, both sides. You need to ink the edges of both sides because these are journaling spots, so they have journaling paper on the backs. Okay, and let's glue this one on. Okay, that one is glued on, and then I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to mark my cut lines so that I'm not constantly cutting down, cutting down, cutting down. Okay, there's one side and the other side. I got my paper on the back and got way too much glue on it. So now I've got glue seeping everywhere. My tip had stopped up. Then I found this little Find Your Passion label. Very cute. I had someone say last week, I just love how you say, oh, that's so cute. I am constantly saying that, not just about my crafty stuff either that I make. I'm just constantly saying, oh, I love that. That's cute. Oh, that's so cute. I don't know where in the world I got it, who I got it from, why I say it so much, but, you know, it's a cute thing to say, right? Oh, me. I make myself laugh. That is for sure. That one is pretty. Okay, so I've got this little one here. Let's rip the rest of this by hand. Get that little piece off of the edge there. And then here. Look at there, how wonky that is. And I think what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to cut off the stamp edges and just use that middle part. Let's see here. So book page on top of book page. I love it. Do that. And ink this wonky little piece of dictionary page. Does not have to be a perfect rectangle, y'all. Make it your own. Okay, and then I'm going to put this down. Cute book page on top of book page. Love it. Okay, and then I think another one of those tiny little pink labels will go really good with this. I think I might use this darker one up here, since we don't have too much darkness on this one. All right, so I'm finished that one. Put that little tag there, label, and then a little bitty piece of ink dyed paper on the back of that one. So that's a little tiny one. And then I think I will make one more, and then I will show you on a couple of them what they look like with sewn edges, and we will be done, guys. All right, let's ink the edges of this one. I love this wildflower look to this one. So if you've got any printables that's got flowers or trees, or I mean, even if you wanted to go insects, birds, butterflies, whatever, nature related is fine to use with this challenge. I'm gonna go down to there so I've got enough to grip when I rip, and then I'm gonna go over to here, and hopefully that's enough to get a good tear all the way down. Good. And I think I'm going to leave this one a little bigger. Leave that tear like that. And maybe right here. I don't know. I don't like that, all that jaggedy jag when I don't have it on this side. Let's look. All right. Let's try to tear the little bitty bitty. And let's do it this way to get that little bitty bit off. Of course, I know somebody was screaming that in the very beginning. Turn your paper the other way. You can tear it off, even if you've got a little piece. I know somebody was hollering that. Okay. Let's ink these edges, and then I'm going to take a couple of these over to my sewing machine, and I will sew off camera because there is no way for me to mount my camera above my sewing machine at this time, and it is across the room. So, gotta do the other side. Okay, for this one, I pulled off this dreams don't work unless you do. How correct is that? Way too much glue come out of there. I'm not used to my bottle being so full. I've been low on liquid glue for so long. I'm used to squeezing hard to try to get it all to the top and out. There we go. And then some book page on the back, or not book page, but ink dyed page on the back. And make my mark there and there. Okay, so here are my creations, and then here are the two that I sewed on. Let me get that extra string off of there. I love how it caught up in the back like that. Beautifully imperfect. Like that. And then this one, I am not the best sewer at all. I'm just putting that out there. Like I said, the other day was my first time to sew on a project. Use my sewing machine, period, in like 8 years. So don't hate my sewing ability. But that is this week's, or this episode's, M's Scrapbusters challenge. I hope that you take the challenge and tag me and tag M's Scrapbusters in your creations so that we can see them and comment on them. I want to see them. I want to love them, and I want to comment and leave you some gracious words of encouragement and thanks for playing along. Y'all have a blessed day. I will see you in the next video. Bye, y'all.